More than 24 New York City firehouses are forced to shut down as the vaccine mandate leaves them with a crippling shortage. And it doesn't end there. The mandate's impacting every city department, with trash piling up around the city as sanitation crews are left severely understaffed, too. Our next guest is outraged. New York City Councilman Joe Borelli chairs the council's Committee on Fire and Emergency Management, and he joins us now. So, Joe, thanks for joining us, Joe. Before we get to the fire and police officers, let's just talk sanitation. And, you know, New York City had problems keeping up with their trash collection before all this. This is becoming a health hazard.
Yeah, it's very unsafe, unsanitary, unsightly, but it really should be surprising to no one that when employees are faced with termination over their failure to have consent and choosing to be vaccinated or not, they become less than enthused about working. And you're seeing that right now as people vest out and retire, people quit the job, whatever it is. And unfortunately, New Yorkers, typical under the Mayor de Blasio, but New Yorkers are left footing the bill.
Yeah, it's interesting to see some of our most ardent environmentalists, AOC, for example, and this kind of trash piling up. I haven't seen her say a peep about all this because she seems to care more about the mandates than actually about the environment and the health and safety of the residents of the New York City and surrounding areas. So let's talk about the firefighter situation. We have firehouses closing. Are New York City residents just finally fed up? What is going to be the reaction to this? Because this, I mean, imagine if there's a fire, and we've had some recently, what will happen? How will response times be impacted?
Well, they certainly will be impacted, but people should be fed up, and they should be fed up and be clear about where the blame lies for these staffing shortfalls. This mandate sends able-bodied people who tested within days that they were negative of COVID, who were otherwise fit for duty just hours earlier, and it sends them home, and fire companies are closed or running short-staffed. This is a mandate that exists really in no other place in the city or states of America. This is the only city where you do not have the option to do weekly testing now. To opt in. So if we're all following the science, why is every other city and state in the country following one fact pattern and one policy, and New York seems to be the only one following this so strictly that people are choosing to retire or quit over it?
Yeah, I'll tell you who else is quitting. Students. New York City public school enrollment has fallen by 50,000 during this pandemic. So, I mean, it appears to me like this is just a city that's collapsing right before our eyes.
Well, a lot of people saw that over the past 18 months, crime, quality of life, and they simply chose to get their families out. Other policy decisions, ending gifted and talented, ending our honor rolls, ending elite high schools in the city, seem to be the goal of our mayor, and people are just sick of it. And then finally, there was no effort to really fully reopen schools as quickly as possible. We had our teachers union fight back, and parents like me, we pulled our son out of public school. We wanted him to be in Catholic school, or at least he'll be in school 5 days a week. So we're part of that 50,000 number, too.
Yeah, well, elections matter. New York